We begin today the Gemara on Daf Kuf Lamed Beis, right in the beginning of the Yomud. Boy Rava. Okay, so the Gemara here is discussing a case where a person writes that he's giving all of his properties away to his wife. And the Gemara before said that when a person does this, we assume that he doesn't mean to take away all of his possessions from his children. Rather, what he's doing is he's appointing his wife to be the apotropos. She's going to be the caretaker to manage the distribution of the Yerusha to the children. And the reason he's doing this is because he wants his children to give the right honor to their mother. So therefore he's appointing her in this. Okay, so but the case in the Gemara before was talking about when a person is doing this when he's a shchiv mira, he's on his deathbed, he's about to pass away. So now the Gemara asks, Boy Rava has a shaila, bebari heich. What's the halacha if a person writes that he's giving all of his possessions and properties away to his wife when he's still a healthy person? So what's the reason that there's a suffix about this? So do we say, b'shchiv mira, if he's about to pass away, then we say, hu denichale de l'shtama mila. Here, the svara we said that he's giving it all to his wife just in order for the children to honor her, and therefore we interpret what he meant to do is not to really give it away to her, but she should be a caretaker, so the children should honor her. So this makes sense. This svara makes sense when he's about to pass away. He's passing away. He wants the children to honor their mother. Avol bebari, but if he's still healthy, so then hakayu, he's still here, he's still alive. And while he's still alive, he himself could be there and make sure that his children will give the right honor to the mother. Why would he now, when he's still a healthy person, give away to his wife, right, that he's giving away all of his possessions to his wife? If he's concerned about what's going to happen later when he passes away, so let him take care of it then, when he gets closer to his time, when he feels like he's going to leave the world. But if he's doing it now, when he's still healthy and he's writing that all of my possessions go to my wife, it's maybe more logical to say that he actually means to give it as a gift to her. So it's taken literal to be a gift.
Was she not responsible to distribute it among the children?
No, then it would no. Now the Gemara now is saying possibly that he's giving it completely as a gift to her. If he's writing it to her when he's still totally healthy, or maybe we could say, Barinami, even when he's still healthy and he's writing that he's giving everything to his wife, the only reason he's doing this is he wants that his children should already know from now that they have to listen to their mother and they have to honor their mother, and they see already from now, from when he's healthy, that he's giving everything away to the mother, that she's going to be the one distributing all the Yerusha, so they know that they have to listen to her. So maybe even now we can say that svara applies.
But she's distributed the way he would have.
Where?
The way the Torah is doing.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
It's just that she doesn't get a gift. The point there is that even though he wrote, he's giving it to her as a matana, but we don't take that literal. He's not giving it to her as a matana. He's just doing it in order for the children to have to go to her to get it. She's going to be the caretaker to take care of this. Okay, so the Gemara brings a rai from the following brayse. Toshema hakoisef peiris nechosav leishtay. A person writes that he's giving the fruits of his properties to his wife. So he's only the fruits, not the properties itself. So then what's the halacha? Goivik subasam and akarka. She can still collect her ksuba money that she gets after the husband passes away from the properties itself. The properties itself have a shibud on it. There's a lien on it that's where she collects her ksuba money. So even though she already got a gift from the peiris, and as we'll see soon in the Gemara, once she gets a gift from the husband, there's a svara to say that maybe she was meichel or ksuba, because she's getting now a gift from him. And that's in the place of the ksuba. But in this case, though, since she only got fruits as a gift, but the karka itself, he's not giving her anything, so she collects her ksuba from the karka itself. Furthermore, the Braisa says, if he's giving her a gift, half or a third or a quarter of the karkais that he has, so he's not giving her everything as a gift, she can still collect her ksuba from the remainder of the properties that he did not give her. He gave her a gift, some of the properties, but the other parts of the property that he gave her are still there that she can collect the ksuba from it. Now, however, another case, kosav kol nechosav leishtay. If a person writes that he's giving all of his properties away to his wife, and then what happens? V'yotza olav shtar chayiv. And now there's a shtar chayiv, there's a loan that someone comes and presents to us showing that this man, before he passed away, he owed money. So what happens now? This person that has to collect the shtar chayiv, where does he collect his loan from? So Rabbi Eliezer says, Tikra matanosa. we tear up the matana that he gave her, all the possessions, that everything should belong to her. That matana is null and void. And v'tamed al ksubasa, and instead she has these karkois, they are hers because of the lien of the ksuba that there is on this. And therefore her lien, her shibud that she has in these karkois of the ksuba comes before that loan. Comes before the person that's coming to collect the loan. And therefore he can't take the loan from these karkois until the isha gets her ksuba. So in other words, the point that Rabbi Eliezer is saying is that in this case, when she gets a matana, she's not being meichel the ksuba here. In such a case, if she would get this matana and she would accept this matana in the place of her ksuba, what would that mean? That now when a balchoiv wants to come and collect a loan that was owed to him before it was given as a gift to this wife, so now the balchoiv has the right to come and collect this matana. You got the matana from your husband after he borrowed the money from me. So therefore, in such a case, we say, no, it doesn't work that way. That she's not meichel her ksuba. The matana is null and void. She keeps her rights to collect her ksuba. So her rights to collect her ksuba, that was before this person borrowed the money. So therefore, she gets her ksuba first. However,
her shibud is only after her husband passes away.
No, it starts from marriage. She only bepoil collects it later, but the shibud on the ksuba starts from when they got married, from when the ksuba was written. So that was before this person borrowed the money. The Chachamim disagree with this, and they say no, that it works the other way around. Tikra ksubasa, because she accepted a gift, and the gift was the husband gave her all of his karkais, everything. So now she accepted that. When she accepted that gift, she was meichel the shibud of her ksuba, because she's getting everything he owns as a gift. So she gave up her ksuba. So therefore, tikra ksubasa, we tear the ksuba. Now, okay, when it says here tikra ksubasa, it doesn't mean literally that the whole ksuba could be torn up altogether. It means regarding all these karkais that the husband owns now when he gave it to her. So because all of these karkais that he owns now was given to her as a gift, the shibud that there is from the ksuba on these karkais is off, because she's accepting it now as a gift, which is in a way much better than just having a shibud of a ksuba. It becomes totally hers. It's a gift. And therefore, v'tamid al matnasa. So therefore now she has these karkais as a gift. And now, but what happens though? So now when a person comes to collect the loan from these karkais, showing that this loan was before she got it as a gift, so v'nimtzas kirachas mikan u'mikan. She comes out to be bold from here and from there, meaning she doesn't have her ksuba anymore. She gave up her ksuba for these karkais when she accepted it as a gift. But on the other hand, because she accepted it now only as a gift, that opens this up to being able to be collected by a balchoiv, by a lender that borrowed money before she got it as a gift. So therefore, he will be able to confiscate these karkais from her. The Rashbam points out, and this is relevant for the Gemara later, that it doesn't mean we totally rip up her ksuba, because when you look inside a ksuba, it says that she's able to collect from the karkais that the husband owns now, and it also says in the ksuba she's able to collect from any karkais that he'll buy in the future. So if the husband will buy in the future additional karkais, so from there she'll be able to get a ksuba. But from these karkais that he owned now, and he's giving it all to her as a gift, on that she doesn't have any shibud of the ksuba anymore, because instead it becomes a gift. And if it's a gift, so then a balchoiv that the money was owed to him before she got it as a gift will be able to collect that from the karkais. Rabbi Yehuda Anachtem said that Maise, there was an actual story that V'ira Davar, this happened bebasa chaisi, with my sister's daughter, which is his niece, Kala, which was also his own daughter-in-law. In other words, his niece married his son. And so this exact story happened, that his son gave away all the properties that he had then as a gift to his wife. And then, after he passed away, a balchoiv came to collect from these karkais. The story came in front of the Chachamim, and they passed it, like it said before, like the Chachamim's opinion. They said, Tikra ksubasa. The ksuba, the shibud of the ksuba regarding these karkais is gone. She accepted it now as a gift. And v'tamayid al matnasa, and therefore instead she has it only as a matana, and therefore v'nimtzas karachas mikan mikan. So therefore she comes out to be bold from this side and this side, meaning she has no ksuba on one hand, and on the other hand she has the balchoiv that has a lien to collect from these karkais before she received it as a gift, and therefore he'll be able to take it from her. Okay, till there is the brisa. But now what do we see here in this brisa? The brisa is speaking about a case where a person is giving away all his karkais to his wife, and the brisa is basically saying that gift takes effect. And we don't say that he's just giving it to her and she becomes just an apotropos. She becomes just a manager for this to distribute it to the children. So the Gemara says, the reason we say over here that she cannot now have these karkois is because the yatzal of shtar chayv. Because if it turns out that money was owed to someone, her husband owed money somewhere from before, so therefore she's going to have to give the karkois to that loan. But if there was no shtar chayv after the husband passes away, so then kanya, she acquires the karkois that the husband said he's giving away to her as a gift. Now, ubemai, what's the case here? When did the husband say he's giving it away to her as a gift? If you're going to say the case here is that the husband was on his deathbed, and that's when he's giving it to her as a gift, but that can't be, because that we already said, we said before in Daf Kuf Lamed Aleph, that when a husband says he's giving away all his properties to his wife when he's on his deathbed, he doesn't mean to give it all away to her. He just wants to appoint her as the caretaker to manage to distribute it to the children. So it must be, what is this Braisa talking about? The body. It's talking about a healthy man that's saying that he's giving everything away to his wife, and it takes effect. In this case, we don't say that he's just making her a manager. Over here, he's mamish giving it to her as a gift, and as we see here in this Braisa. So the Gemara answers, no, it's not necessarily this is the case of the Braisa. You can't prove from here. Really, I could tell you, it is talking about a shchiv mira, person that's on his deathbed and he's giving away to his wife the gift, all of his properties, but it will take effect as a real gift. And here the Gemara brings what it said in the end of Kuf Lamed Aleph, that even though usually we say when a person gives away all of his properties to his wife, we don't interpret this as a real gift. He only is appointing her as a caretaker, but there's an exception to this. Rav Avira can explain this Braisa in all the cases that were mentioned before in Daf Kuf Lamed Aleph, which really just comes down to two cases. There's the case of a person's wife that's only an arusa, he wasn't fully married to her yet, or in a case where it was a wife that he divorced already. In such a case, when he writes that he's giving it to them as a gift, we take this to mean literally, because he's not just writing this to appoint her as a caretaker so that the children should honor them. Because if he's not married to her now, fully married, or he already divorced her, he's not doing this for the children to give honor to this woman. So therefore, this Braisa is speaking about a case where it's either a wife an arusa or a wife a grusha. The Gemara says the same thing according to Ravina. Ravina maikila ve'ishtay arusa ve'ishtay grusha. We're talking about a wife which is an arusa or a grusha. In such a case, even if it's when he's on his deathbed, the gift that he's giving the wife does take fully effect. The Rashbam here explains, based on what we learned before in the Gemara on Kuf Lamed Aleph, that the two opinions the Gemara brings here, Rav Avira and Ravina, regarding the Pshat in the Gemara here, it's really the same thing. In the Gemara before, there was a difference between them, but here, in the Pshat of the Gemara, the point is that this Braisa is speaking about a case where it's either his wife which is an arusa, or his wife which was already divorced. In such a case, even when he's on his deathbed, when he's giving her the gift, he's giving the gift fully. He's not just appointing his wife as the caretaker. So therefore, it's not necessarily a raya to Rava's iboya. Okay, the Gemara continues. Omer Rav Yosef bar Menyumi, Omer Rav Nachman. The halacha regarding the case that the Braisa brought up before, when a person gives his wife the gift, all of his properties, and then later a Bal Chayv comes. So what happens? We say, Tikrak subasa, that regarding all these properties, the ksuba money, she does not have any lien on this property because of the ksuba anymore. V'tamad matnasa, and therefore she only has it as a gift, and therefore v'nimtzas karachas mikana mikan. She's left with nothing. If the loan is the value of all these properties, she'll be left with nothing. So the Gemara asks on this, how did Rav Nachman paskin this way? Lememre, shall we say, Delei Ozl Rav Nachman basar umdene. That Rav Nachman does not follow a certain assumption we would have the way she would be thinking here. Meaning that there should be an assumption that she would not be ready to accept this as a gift and give up her lien that she has on the ksubeh if after her husband passes away, it turns out that these properties are really owed to someone that the husband borrowed money from. Once she finds this out, why would she want to accept this as a gift and lose her lien of the ksubah that comes before that loan? So shouldn't we follow the umdane that she knows she wants to hold on to the lien of her ksubah? That's the explanation of Rabbi Eliezer that argued this. Rabbi Eliezer says no, she keeps her lien as a ksubah. Now that it turns out that if she's going to take it as a gift, she's going to lose the whole thing. So why don't we follow this umdane? And here the Gemara brings another example in a similar kind of umdane that we're talking about here, that we see that Rav Nachman holds that we follow this kind of assumption. Vatanya, we learned in the Braisa, what happens if a person's son goes overseas? And Bishama Shemeis B'nai, and he hears that his son passed away. So what happens when his son passed away? This was his only son that would inherit him, but he hears that he passed away. So he goes and he writes that all of his properties are given away to someone else. And then his son shows up. So matnase matana. The Tanna Kama says, even though it was clear that he only did this because he thought his son passed away, but the fact is he wrote that he's giving away this to someone else, and he didn't explicitly write that he's doing it because of the condition that he knows that his son passed away. He didn't write that. He just said, I'm giving it away. So even though it turns out that his son is alive, the matana is still in effect. Rav Shimon ben Menashe Ein matnase matana. No, the gift is not in effect if the son shows up. Why? So the Bacher adds the word biyadua because it's known. If he would know that his son is still alive, like kasvan, he would never give away all of his properties to someone else. In other words, even though he didn't write this explicitly, but it's not considered to be dvarim shebelev. This is something that we can see very clearly. There's an umdana. It's very clear that this was he only gave it away with this condition because he thought that his son was not alive. So over here in this case, Rav Nachman says, halacha Rav Shimon ben Menashe. That we paskin like Rav Shimon ben Menashe, that when a person gives something away and he didn't write explicitly any condition, but nevertheless we understand with an umdana we can assume that he was only doing it for this condition. So we should say similar here, when this isha is accepting all these karkais as a gift, it should be a simple umdana that she's only accepting it as a gift if it turns out that she could keep it. But if it turns out that a Baal Chayiv is going to come and confiscate the whole thing, she never wanted to accept this as a gift. So why does Rav Nachman not hold of the umdana in our case? So the Gemara answers, in our case is actually a different umdana. Shani Hasam, over here, regarding when a husband gives his wife a gift, all of his karkais, over here it's different. Why is that? Because the Nichala, the Tepekala Kala, she's very happy with the fact that everybody should know, there should be a rumor about this, the Kazvinu Nehala Lahana Nechasim, that her husband gave away to her all of his properties as a gift. She wants everyone to know that her husband holds her in high regard and he gave her away everything, and he trusts her and he's giving everything away to her, even if there's a certain risk involved with this, that when he passes away, maybe the husband owed somebody money and she'll lose out from this. She'd rather take it now all as a gift so that people should know that her husband holds her in high regard. And maybe she'll be able to do business with this fields because people will now trust her. She'd rather accept it as a gift. So there is a different umdana in this case that Rav Nachman follows, and therefore we paskin like the Chachamim, that she accepts it as a gift. Okay, now the Gemara brings another Mishnah. This is a Mishnah Masechta Peah, and here the Gemara will have a similar discussion to what we had before. Tanan Asam, the Mishnah there says, Hakaisav Nechasav Labanov, a person writes that he's giving a gift, his properties to his sons, and V'kasav Le'ishtoi, and then he also writes to his wife, Karka Kolshu, that he's giving his wife also a little piece of a property. So in such a case, where she accepts the gift of this little piece of property, of the ksubasa, she loses her rights to collect the ksuba. Once she accepts this little gift, while she sees her husband's giving away all of his properties as a gift to his sons, this is not a Yerusha, he's giving as a gift to his sons, and he's giving her just a little piece, which is much less than the value of her ksuba, and she accepts this, she loses her ksuba. Okay, so now the Gemara explains this. What's this based on? So the Gemara asks, Mishum the cost of law karka kolshu, because he's giving her a little piece of karka of the ksubasa. Is that a reason that she should lose the right to collect her ksubah from all the other properties that the husband went and gave away to the sons? Those properties that the husband gave away to the sons is the property that there was a lien on it for her to be able to collect her ksubah from it. And now the husband is giving it away to the sons and she can't collect her ksubah. Why? Because she accepted a small piece of karka. Why is that the case? Just because she accepted a small piece of karka doesn't mean she's giving up her right to collect the ksubah from all the other properties. So the Gemara here brings three Amirayim that explain this. So Amar Rav says the case here is b'mezake lehen al yada. Now, the point of all these Amirayim is they're going to come and explain that we have over here a clear indication that she is Meichel her ksubah. When she sees her husband giving away all her karkais to her sons, we have a clear indication that she was forgiving her rights to collect the ksubah. So Rav says the reason is b'mezake lehen al yada. It's when the husband or the father is giving away the karkais to his sons through her. So the Rashbam gives an example. Let's say the father is giving it away to his sons, and the sons are creating a kinyan. How? A kinyan of chalipin, which is when you pick up a handkerchief. So whose handkerchief are they using? They're taking her handkerchief. The sons are taking her handkerchief and giving it to the father to create this kinyan. So they're using her handkerchief as a kinyan. So she's participating in what's going on here. She's meichel the rights to collect the ksuba from these karkais. That's the case. Shmuel says it doesn't have to be such a strong proof, not only because not such a case where she's giving her handkerchief for this. Shmuel says b'machalek lefanel, when he's distributing, he's giving the properties to her sons, to the husband's sons in front of her. She sees this, and v'yishay sekes, she's quiet. So if she's quiet, she knows that she has a lien on these karkais for a ksuba, and she sees the husband giving it away to the sons, and she's quiet about this. So shtika kaida. Just the fact that she was present, she was quiet, she won't be able to collect her ksuba from that. She was meichel. Furthermore, Rabbi Yossi bar Chanina says, he tells her, Kli karka zu b'ksubasech. He gives her a little piece of karka and he says, take this little karka for your ksuba. So even if she doesn't respond, she wasn't participating in the kinyan to the sons. She wasn't standing there when the husband gave it to them. But the husband told her, take this little karka for your ksuba. And she took it, she didn't say anything. That means that she's meichel, she doesn't have the right not to collect her ksuba from any of the other karkais. That's what the Mishnah says. Now, this is the three different interpretations of the pshat of what it says here in this Mishnah. Why, if she gets this little piece of karka, she can't collect now from the rest of the karkais that are given away to the sons.
If you say it the other way,
the what?
Yeah, that she's an apotropis, we say that since the Torah says that the kids have to get their Yerusha, so they get it. This way the Torah says she has to get her ksuba. But we don't say that over
No, she's meichel. Over here the assumption is we have different reasons to believe that she's being meichel. Yeah. Oh, look what the Gemara says now. Here the Gemara says that this is taka a unique exception that we say only by a ksuba. This concept that we accept this kind of mechila, even though she never explicitly was meichel, this is a unique leniency when it comes to her rights to collecting her ksuba. As the Rashbam explains, if this would happen by a case where there was someone that was owed money, someone that borrowed money, you can't rely on such a kind of assumption that he's being meichel to collect his rights, his loan from with such a kind of assumption of mechila. By a ksuba, though, this is a unique kula. This is based on the fact that the whole entire shibud that a husband has to give his wife a ksuba is much less of a shibud than it is by a place where a person lent someone money and he did a person a favor and he lent them money. There's a much stronger shibud there. Over here, though, it's the other way around. A woman is more desperate to get married to the man than the man is to get married to the husband, to the wife, that is. And therefore, over here, there's a kulei ksuba that her lien of a ksuba, we assume that she forgives it much quicker than a regular loan. That's the pshat nisinyan. Okay, but now the Gemara brings a continuation of the Mishnah that we just quoted, what it says in the Sefer. So there in that Mishnah, it continues and brings another opinion. So Tanan, the Mishnah goes on to say, Rabbi Yossi argues with the Tana Kama and says, Im kibla alel. If she explicitly accepted upon herself, she said, I accept upon myself to be meichel the shibud of my ksuba. She said it befedish. Then, afal pishole kosavlo, even if he did not write to her anything, he didn't write to her that he's giving away all the properties to the other sons. He didn't write to her like Rabbi Yossi bar Chanina says before, that he's writing to her that I'm giving everything away to the son and you can't collect the ksuba anymore of the ksubasa. She will lose the ksuba if she explicitly accepts this. So now the Gemara understands, what do we see here from the words of Rabbi Yossi? The klal, from this we can understand that Tanakama Sovar, the Tanakama holds, ksive vikabolaboy, that the only time we say she forgives her right to collect the ksuba is if the husband wrote that he's giving the properties away to the other sons. And she also accepted upon herself. She accepted upon herself clearly that I'm not going to have any rights. I'm forgiving my rights to collect the ksuba. That's what it sounds like from the lashon of Rabbi Yossi. The Rashbam explains that when Rabbi Yossi says im kibla aleh afal pishule kosavla, from the words of Rabbi Yossi, it looks like that Rabbi Yossi is coming to be makel even more than the Tanakama. Rabbi Yossi is saying if she accepted upon herself, even if he didn't write that he's giving it away to the other children in front of her, or he didn't write that to her, just accepting is enough that she's meichel the ksuba. But it's mashma the Tanakama holds the only reason she's forgiving the ksuba is because she actually accepted it explicitly. He wrote that he's giving everything away to all the other children, and she accepted this explicitly. So this is a question. The Gemara here is asking a question on all the Amirayim that just explained. They all gave different reasons why we say that she forgave her ksuba. either because she participated in the kinyan, or because she was there and she was quiet, or because he wrote it to her. But according to the diak that the Gemara is making now here from what Rabbi Yossi says, we see that according to the Tanna Kama, she has to explicitly say that she's forgiving the ksuba. It's not, all those assumptions that these Amiroim said are not true. The Gemara says, if you're going to argue and say, Kula Rabbi Yossi, really this entire Braisa, the first part of the Braisa, the second part of the Braisa, it's all Rabbi Yossi. And the Rashbam explains, maybe we could say that the beginning of the Braisa and the second part of the Braisa is saying 2 points, that according to Rabbi Yossi, it's either or. Either if the husband writes that he's giving everything away to the sons, and she was quiet and she accepted it, that's one way how she could be Meichel Ksubah. Or another way is, even if he didn't, but she explicitly said that she's being Meichel Ksubah, then she forgives her Ksubah as well. So it's all Rabbi Yossi. Maybe there's no argument here in this Braisa. But the Gemara says that's not the case, because Vahatanya, we learned clearly in another Braisa where it explains this Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda said regarding the opinion of the Tanna Kama. Amosai, when do I say that if the husband writes that he's giving away the properties to the sons, that she forgives her ksubah? That's only Shahaisa Sham. She was there when the husband wrote that he's giving it all away to the sons, and the Kibla Alel. And she also accepted it upon herself. She clearly said that she's not going to collect her ksubah. Aval, Haisa Sham, V'lai Kibla Alel. She was there when the husband is writing that he's giving it all away, but she didn't explicitly say that she's forgiving. Or Kibla Alel. She explicitly said she's forgiving the rights to collect the ksubah, but v'lo haisasham. But she wasn't present when the husband is giving it away. So therefore, when she says that she's accepting it upon herself, she didn't know that the husband is giving it away. Maybe she was just saying this to appease her husband, but she didn't see her husband is giving it away. So then, layavda ksubasa, she will not lose the ksubah. And Rabbi Yehuda is saying this to explain the Tanna Kama in this Mishnah. So we clearly see here, to Yufta the Kulu, this refutes the Amiraim that we brought before, Rav, Shmuel, Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina, that gave different explanations of why we assume that she was Meichel Ksubah, even if she doesn't say it clearly. But Rabbi Yehuda here is saying that no, she only gives up her Ksubah if she was there when the husband is giving it away to the sons, and she's explicitly saying that I'm Meichel. So to Yufta, this refutes all those opinions. Amalei Rava le Rav Nachman. Rava says to Rav Nachman about this case, Harav, Hashmul, Harab Yossi Bar Chanina. We have the various different interpretations on the Tanna Kama's opinion that was just mentioned and we just refuted. Mar my svirele. You, the master, Rav Nachman, what do you hold about this case? Amalei, so Rav Nachman says to Rava, Sha'ani Aimer, I say, Kivin Sha'asa Shutif Bein Abonim, that as soon as he makes her a partner between the other children, meaning he gave the children most of the properties and he gives her just a little bit of the ksubasa, she loses her ksubah. So the Rashbam brings from his grandfather Rashi that what Rav Nachman is saying is actually following Rabbi Yossi's opinion. The Tanna Kama holds that the only way we say that she loses her ksubah is if you have both conditions. If he gave away to her children the properties in her presence, and she explicitly was Meichel. But according to Rabbi Yossi, it's one or the other. Either he wrote it to the children in her presence, or she explicitly was Meichel. So therefore, Rav Nachman is saying that even if she wasn't explicitly Meichel, but if she was there when he gave it away to the children, and he gave her also a little bit, that's enough of a reason to say that she was Meichel. We also learned Amar Rav Yossi Bar Minyomi Amar Rav Nachman. He also said in the name of Nachman, Kivin she'asa shutiv ben abanim. Once he made her a partner between all the children when he gave away the ksubah to them, of the ksubasa, she loses her right to collect her ksubah. Okay, so this is this halacha of a husband giving away to the children, where she loses her right. She's meichel her right to collect the ksubah. Now here the Gemara has a similar ibaya that Rava asked, similar to what we learned in the beginning of the Amah today, or the beginning of the Bat. So now Rava asked regarding this case here, what's if this is happening when the husband is all still alive and healthy, he's not on his deathbed? Maybe we should say that everything we learned until here about the husband giving away his properties to his children, and she loses her right to collect the ksubah, that's maybe only when he's on his deathbed, not when he's still healthy. The Gemara explains, Mi amrinon, do I say, b'shchiv mira, in a case where the husband is about to die, hu yada de lesla. So now he knows that the husband is giving everything away, and he's not going to buy any properties in the future. He's about to pass away. So if she's here and she's being meichel, the kamachla. So if she's quiet about this, or even if she's explicitly meichel, according to the Tanna Kama that she has to be explicitly meichel, so we know that this mechila is a real mechila. There's no other way to explain why she's being meichel. She understands that the husband is not going to buy any properties in the future, and therefore she's totally being meichel. That's only when the husband is on the deathbed. Aval bebody, but when the husband is still healthy, and he's giving away his properties to the sons, and she's quiet about this, or she's being Michael. Why is she being Michael? Savra, because she thinks to herself, it's not a problem. My husband is still alive. He's still healthy. Hadakani. He's anyways going to buy additional property, so I'll have from where to collect my ksuba from. So her being Michael is not to be taken seriously. The only reason she was quiet about this is because she didn't want to get her husband angry. She sees her husband wants to give a gift to the sons, so she stays quiet about this, but she never really means to give up her rights to collect her ksuba. She really still wants her ksuba. She's relying on the fact that her husband's going to buy fields in the future. So if so, the mechila is not really serious, and therefore she can still actually collect even from these properties that the husband gave away to these sons. Or maybe I should say, hashtemiya lesle. If now the husband doesn't have any other properties and she's quiet about this, it's enough of a proof that she's seriously being Michael, her rights to collect the ksuba. And we can't say she's relying on the future that he's going to go and buy. Now he has only this and she's giving it up. Teiku, this remains unresolved. Okay, the Gemara here brings two stories in connection to this. One is Ahuda Amalohu. A person said, Palga Lebras, I'm giving half of my properties to one daughter, or Palga Lebras, the other halves of my property to another daughter, and then he said, "V'tilse leitas v'pri." I want to give a third of the fruits to my wife. The way the Gemara understands this right now is that we're talking about a third of the fruits that are attached to the trees in these properties. A third of these fruits will go to my wife. So Ikla Rav Nachman l'Sura. Rav Nachman was in Surah. Ola Gabay Rav Chisda, so he went to Rav Chisda to ask him, Amalei Kehai Gavnamai. In such a case, when the wife accepted a third of these fruits from the trees, is that something that we say that she accepted this, and she saw that the husband is giving away the properties to the daughters, and she gave up her rights to collect the ksuba from there? So Amalei, Rav Chisda said to him, Hachi Ama Shmuel, this is what Shmuel said, that she gives up her rights for the ksuba by this. Afilu lehiknula ela dekel echad lipei reisav. Even if he's giving his wife one palm tree just for its fruits, meaning he's not even giving her the palm tree itself. He's just giving her the palm tree for the fruits that are going to grow from it. Avdak subasa. She receives this, and she's meichel. If the husband's giving everything away to the other children, then she's meichel her rights to collect the ksuba. So in this case, when she's receiving a third of the fruits that are attached to the trees, and those fruits are here already. So that's even better than this case of Dekel Leperaisav. Dekel Leperaisav is when he's giving her the palm tree for the fruits that are going to grow in the future. Here, the fruits are here. He's giving her away these fruits, and she accepted it. They're attached to the trees. This is a piece of karka, the fruits that are attached to the karka that he's giving her, and she can't accept any ksuba.
But those fruits are not mashubah anyways.
No, the fruits are attached to the trees. If they're attached to the trees, as long as they're still attached to the trees, they're part of the karka. It's part of the shibud of the ksuba. She's getting a piece of karka and these third of fruits that she's getting. And now with this, she's meichel her rest of the ksuba. Amalei, so Rav Nachman says to Rav Chisda, now there was a misunderstanding of what the story was, because really the fruits that were being given to the wife were not fruits that were attached to the tree. These were fruits that were in the storehouse. They were already detached. So therefore Rav Nachman says, when did Shmuel say that she forgives her ksuba? Because he gave her fruits that are, or the palm tree for the fruits, which are a karka, piece of land. But hacha, what was the case over here? Peida ba'alma b'achat, peida ba'almahu. He's just giving her fruits. He's giving all the properties away to the daughters, and then there's fruits that were already detached in the storehouse that he's giving her. So the question is, in such a case, when she's accepting these fruits, will that be enough of a reason to say that she's meichel her ksuba? Amalei, so Rav Chisda said about this, metaltali kamenis, he's just giving her away fruits which are metaltalin vadile kamina. In a case of metaltalin, I definitely did not say that if she receives a gift of metaltalin from her husband, that she's giving up her rights to collect the ksuba. Okay, let's just see one more story here. The Gemara says, a person said, Tlosa lebras, she's giving a third of the properties to one daughter, Tlosa lebras, another third of the properties to another daughter, and then Tlosa leitas, and another third of the property goes to the wife. Okay, so now in such a case, she received a portion of the property, she gives up her rights to collect the ksuba from the other 2/3 that go to the daughters. Now, what happened was though, Shchives Chodem Ibnate, one of the daughters passed away when he was still alive. And now, once that daughter passes away, that third of the property goes back to the father. So Rav Papi Lemeimar, Rav Papi thought to say, Loi Shakla Elatlosa. She could only take from that third of the property that he gave her. The other 2/3 that he gave away to the two daughters, she was meichel her rights to the collect the ksuba from there. And even though that daughter now passed away and that third goes back to the father, but once she gave up her right to collect the ksuba from there, she can't collect it anymore. Rav Kahana said that that's not the case, because ilo hadakani, if the husband, after he gave away all his properties, if later he buys new properties, miloi shakla, can she still collect her ksuba from new properties? This is the point that we were learning before, that even after she gives up her right to collect the ksuba, she doesn't give up her ksuba altogether. If he buys new properties later, she still could collect from those new properties. So over here, v'kivin the ilo hada kani shakla, if he would buy new properties, she could collect her ksuba from those new properties. So hashtanami, here where one of these daughters that he gave away a third of the property passed away, and now it goes back to the father, shakla. So it went back to the father, she can collect her ksuba from there as well.